On September 7, 2012, a 15-year-old girl posted a video on YouTube chronicling her ongoing battle with cyber harassment and blackmail inflicted upon her by an anonymous individual. Throughout the video, she chose not to speak a single word. Instead, she conveyed her narrative through a series of paper cards, flipping through them one by one. This method painted a harrowing picture of the traumatic abuse she was enduring. Tragically, just a little over 1 month later, she lost her life as a direct consequence of this relentless harassment. The story of Amanda Todd remains one of the most profoundly tragic narratives within the realm of YouTube. Her case sent shockwaves not only throughout the platform but across the globe as well. Even to this day, her passing continues to be deeply felt. Moreover, from this case, a spotlight briefly shone upon one of the internet's darkest corners, momentarily exposing a community never intended for public view. The story begins during the early days of the internet, a period characterized by the general public's limited comprehension of this emerging digital realm. Moderation was rudimentary at best, and malicious activities were widespread, particularly during the nascent era of live streaming. During that time, streams and their associated chat rooms remained largely unregulated, evolving into breeding grounds for various forms of inappropriate content. It was within one of these sites, specifically on a platform called Blog TV, that Amanda's torment would commence. At the age of 13, Amanda logged on one evening to the tune of 200 spectators, and it was here that she would eventually feel forced to do inappropriate things on camera, with the entire community encouraging her on. She would regret her choice for the rest of her life, not only at the time. A person going by the alias Tyler Boo was lurking in the chat room and had been waiting for that exact moment to take a screenshot and a recording of this young girl in her most exposed state. He then attempted to use that image as blackmail in order to leverage it for more private performances. Amanda declined the request, but in reality, it wouldn't have mattered anyway, because Tyler turned her world into a place of online abuse by sending sensitive photos and videos of her to all of her friends, acquaintances, and family members. Due to Tyler's evil crusade, her entire family was frequently forced to migrate from one state to another. However, this was to no avail. The content from that fateful stream eventually found its way into every new school and every new individual she dealt with. With no other options, Amanda would turn to drinking and drug usage as a coping mechanism until finally, on October 10, 2012, she could no longer handle it. The terrible story of Amanda Todd involves several events that contributed to her early death, none of which was more significant than the harasser. All eyes were on Amanda's case after her death, and a significant question was, who is Tyler Boo? This question led to a very unsettling discovery, which is the focus of today's video. In order to expose this abuser, we must first acknowledge that he was a member of one of the strangest and most insane online societies ever discovered. As soon as Amanda's story gained attention, Canadian authorities launched an investigation and assigned a team of investigators to find the person using the Tyler Boo alias. They learned there that the atrocities Tyler had done were much more evil than they had anticipated. Through their investigation, they found that Tyler was a capper, a person who stalks live streams of young people online in an effort to encourage them to engage in inappropriate behavior. Once the young people were persuaded to carry out what was asked of them, these cappers would film or screenshot the sensitive moments and then use it against them in an effort to get more videos or photos. Sadly, the case of Amanda Todd is no different than many others online. Hundreds or even thousands of cappers were working together on any given night, and their list of victims were essentially infinite. The truth is, many of these cappers were deeply entwined within a group of people who engaged in this common practice. Many of them shared strategies, caps, and saw each other as friends. And as sinister as all of this may appear, their practices are somehow far worse than you could imagine, a truth that wouldn't be completely appreciated and set out on a platter until the discovery of an internet website called The Daily Capper.
Welcome campers and camp whores to the Daily Capper. Is the month of September traditionally the month of freaks and blackmailers? This week, The story no one will let you forget about. This alleged 11-year-old girl named Carmen tried to impress her champ into making her the new queen. She has been compared to Jessie Slaughter by the way she behaves in her YouTube videos. Many real cappers such as Brian have been interested in watching her bait, while others fail at trying to blackmail her, rather than go into every detail about her. This video should say it all. Of course she has now been forgotten just as 9/11 was yesterday. According to her Twitter, she ran away. Other sources have said she committed suicide. Wherever she is now, we won't remember next week. Poll of the week: is this the new Queen of B? Currently on Blog TV Jr., a girl named Peyton is being blackmailed every day by her mob Cody 1206. Peyton acceptably gives in to his every request rather than blocking his number or reporting him to the police. Peyton did take away his mod once and ban him. Then he kept coming back under different accounts and bitching about it, much like Rara Dejan for HVS. Rather than report him to the mod to get all his accounts banned, she just gave him mob back. Cody is known to use an imbecile freezer, which is the same one Autism Creeper used last year. Which everyone knows there is a way around it. It has been reported that Tim Greek pretended to be a girl in order to get videos of Peyton from Cody. Of course Cody fell for this and gave him the videos. So as usual with every blackmail, Peyton will give in to every request until Cody gets tired of her months from now and releases all her videos. Which is good news for Viper, who has made her the new Verica. Speaking of Viper, he has bragged many times about having unseen Casey face videos. This week, it looks as though Casey is now going to give Viper more to work.
The Daily Capper was, as you can see, nothing short of unpleasant. It was a short-form show that premiered on YouTube back on June 20th, 2010, and ran for almost a year, with most of the episodes focusing on the world of capping, through the unsettling host and her artificial voice. If she seems vaguely familiar, you could recognize her, or possibly the overall layout, as being from the classic HBO series CrashBox, an educational program for kids that includes a part called Distraction News that is startlingly similar.
And now, Distraction News, with your anchor person, Dora Smarmy.
Good evening, I'm Dora Smarmy, and welcome to Distraction News, where we give you the news, and at the end of our newscast, I'll ask you 5 questions about what I've reported. So pay close attention and try not to get distracted. This just in, tornadoes!
The most bizarre part about the whole situation is that some of the capper videos can be easily accessed on YouTube by performing a quick search. I continue to wonder why they are still up and why YouTube hasn't removed them, especially in light of the fact that numerous victims have sadly passed away as a result of the severe internet bullying and torment they have endured. However, one thing is certain. The capping community took steps to recognize their best members through the Capper Awards and weren't afraid to be everywhere on the internet, believing that they were indeed untouchable.
Welcome cappers and camp whores to the official 2010 Capper Awards voting video. Here we will go over the awards and the nominees. All voting information is in the description. Blackmailer of the Year. This one is for the rapists of the internet. Mob. He has been around most of this year trying to keep the low profile, or trolling with his fake loot. Cody 1206. Famous for his blackmail with Peyton. Streaming her videos on Blog TV and Tiny Chat. Unthreatening her in public. Perso. A normal individual who enjoys the finer things in life, such as watching fat girls bait on their period, or enjoying time with his sex slaves while they drink out the toilet. Aussie. Like others, he is blackmailed so many times he doesn't know when he's doing it or not. There's dedication right there.
It is easy to understand why investigators gravitated towards the show as being somehow connected to the deaths and torture of young people after watching episodes like this one from the Daily Capper. But in the end, the crucial query remained. Who was Tyler Boo? As they searched through the disturbed online world, the investigators probably thought they were close to their big break. However, they wouldn't be the ones to reveal the identity of this man. Instead, answers appeared out of nowhere and included a twist that somehow makes the story even stranger.
Dear citizens of our nation, we have brought this announcement forward solely for the purpose of releasing Amanda Todd's Punisher's identity. Below you will find a URL to the man's docs. In there, you will see various information about said person. Cody Maxson is an abomination to our society and will be punished. We are anonymous. We are legion. We do not forget. We do not forgive. Cody Maxson, expect us.
Tyler Boo was discovered to be a major player in the capping community by the name of Cody1206. He was mentioned in 2010's Blackmailer of the Year awards before police could even finish their investigation. This was done by the renowned hacking group Anonymous. The Daily Capper revealed how Cody had assaulted Peyton, a young girl who had been the subject of harassment similar to Amanda's. With this theory in mind, Anonymous looked into the man further and more until they were able to demonstrate that the same account was in communication with Amanda constantly. Moreover, they had allegedly been streaming her cap for everyone to see on his account. Additionally, Cody was allegedly already facing sexual assault charges related to relatively minor offenses, which would have added to his lengthy criminal history. All in all, Anonymous had found their man, and after confirming this among themselves, they would release this video with all of his paperwork, exposing all of his personal information to the public. His real name turned out to be Cody, and with that, the internet's most wanted criminal was revealed. However, there was one problem. Anonymous got it wrong, and by wrong, I mean they were totally off. The phone numbers and residences actually belonged to completely different people, and the birthday they gave Cody was incorrect by more than 10 years. And to make matters worse, it would turn out that Cody wasn't even Tyler Boo, and that Amanda's harasser was actually a 44-year-old Dutch man by the name of Aiden Kobina after the formal police inquiry was through. A well-known online predator who used to have about 100 distinct Facebook profiles for capping amassed a very extensive list of victims over the years, including Amanda, whom he tormented relentlessly for 3 long years until she passed away. Despite the fact that Cody got caught in the middle of this, I still don't feel sorry for him because he was clearly a well-known and well-liked capper. To make matters worse, it's thought that Cody and Amanda were friends, or at the very least, Cody was acting like she was his friend while secretly showing and distributing her caps on a daily basis. In other words, he shared responsibility for Amanda's harassment. The good news is that Amanda received some justice as a result of Aiden's 13-year prison term. As for the Daily Capper, it mysteriously ended in early 2011, a full year before Amanda's death, with no real reason being offered. Or so we thought.
Welcome to another edition of the Daily Capper. We just wanted to help provide a few more details to the recent Amanda Todd tragedy. The majority of people seem misinformed. The media tends to miss out on a lot of key information, others have no idea what they're talking about, and police investigators have no understanding of the internet at all. While people have made Amanda Todd's case into an example of bullying, what they tend to overlook is the capping and blackmail aspect of the story. Contrary to what the media believes, this wasn't just a petty case of cyberbullying. For them to continue to get the capping community mixed up with cases such as sexting, is just insulting. As most of you know, we did a report on Amanda Todd during the time this tragic series of events began occurring. We are able to confirm the timeline in which this all began, as well as a background and information on those involved. There is one thing we can confirm about Amanda. On January 4, 2011, she commented on our video report, in which she was featured, detailing how she was being blackmailed. She states that she did in fact contact the police about her situation. Obviously, they were of no real assistance. It truly is a sad reality that the only time the police will really care is after someone loses their life. The unfortunate thing is, that's not going to change, even after all of this. So obviously, we know her harassment began shortly before the start of 2011. Let's trace back to find out where it started. On December 17, 2010, she went by the blog TV name of Cutie Lover. What you're looking at right now is a saved chat log from the 4HDS chat room that very night. You'll notice, a link to Amanda's blog TV was shared in the room, followed by a discussion of her actions, and almost instantly, her video is already being shared. It's worth noting that infamous blackmailer, Perso, was active in the chat while all of this was being shared. Over the next couple of days, cappers would continue discussing and sharing links to Amanda's material. One of the participating names was in fact Rora. Amanda remained active on Wicked Cam Chat for a couple of days, after being IP banned from Blog TV. So there is the timeline. Between December 18 and January 4 is when Amanda started receiving the threats. With her pictures being spread so quickly, you'd think anyone could be her blackmailer, right? Well, at this time, there was not a single blackmailer that the capping community was not aware of. So if you've wondered how certain names, like Cody's, tend to always come up, the reason is because people are aware of their history. Because law enforcement didn't do anything about the stalker when they had the chance, Anonymous took it upon themselves to find and track down the perpetrator. They were able to identify a known hacker and blackmailer, Cody Maxon, as the man responsible. Although the docs they posted was slightly off, they were certainly on the right track. If you remember correctly, this was all around the time Cody was openly blackmailing Peyton. While Peyton was openly talking about her relationship with him, and revealing all his personal information. However, according to the very intelligent Canadian law enforcement, it's all just one big coincidence. Just because someone with the exact same name, in the exact same area, that fits the exact same description given by a young girl that he openly tormented around the same time Amanda received her threats, doesn't mean he's really a bad guy. They've stated that Cody is a man of no interest. It makes us wonder, why bother asking for the public's help, if they're just going to shrug off any information handed to them? That's the justice system for you. Is Cody really as innocent as he claims? Well, it is difficult to imagine how he went from streaming Peyton's videos, to suddenly being a white knight the next week. On top of that, he has openly expressed his hatred for internet heroes. But aside from the obvious assumptions, we've been able to find information that directly ties Cody to Amanda during the time of her blackmail. Allow us to share with you a message we received on December 23, 2010, just 5 days after Amanda's blog show. This user shares with us Cody's personal information, the same information that was leaked by Anonymous 2 years later. He mentions the names of Cody's victims, one of whom is Amanda. This email was sent to us a week before Amanda confirmed the blackmail herself. Unless this guy had a time machine, this information more than confirms Cody's ties to Amanda. The screenshot he sent us is very similar to the one posted by Anonymous, only with a bit more information. It includes Amanda Michelle Todd's full name, along with detailed information including Amanda's Skype names, the video Cody used to blackmail her, and Cody's email, which was given to this user by Amanda herself. Even more confirmation that Amanda was connected to Cody in December of 2010. Is it still all just one big coincidence? One thing is for sure, whether Cody was the blackmailer, or the good guy he claims to be, he was involved in some way. In his defense, Cody says he was only trying to help Amanda, and that the real blackmailer was fellow capper, Viper2323. Those who lack knowledge of the capping world will instantly buy into this claim. Since we knew both these individuals personally, allow us to share some more insight to this story, and why this adds to the evidence of Cody being the bad guy. For one, he put the blame on a man who he was good friends with at the time. Viper and Cody worked alongside each other in groups, they trawled rooms together, and even shared videos with each other. You are looking at a conversation we had with Viper in December 2010. Viper states here that he did in fact receive a video from Cody. They continued working with each other until mid-2011, when Viper revealed in an Omegle chat room that he had gotten into an argument with Cody. And they've hated each other ever since. But once again, Cody was directly connected to Amanda in December, while he and Viper were still friends that shared videos with each other. Even if what Cody said were true, that would mean he knew Viper was blackmailing her the whole time, and he did nothing to stop him, because they continued to share videos with each other for another 6 months after. Which would mean, if Viper really was the culprit, Cody was obviously still involved, and more than likely assisting him. That's assuming what Cody said is true. However, we don't buy into his story. While Viper may have been a pedophile, a troll, a psycho, among many other things, one thing that Viper was not, was a blackmailer. In fact, he was actively against blackmail. In this conversation, he states that he wouldn't even give a girl's information to a blackmailer, even if it meant getting their caps, the videos he was obsessed with getting for over a year. Although toward the end of 2010, he was showing darker tendencies, he is not the type of person that would take it as far as Amanda's stalker took it. There are only a handful of blackmailers that are known for taking it that far. So if Cody was really a hero, why is there so much wrong with the logic of his story? How were other people able to connect him to Amanda as soon as she was being blackmailed? Even if he wasn't the blackmailer, it's more than obvious Amanda was at least one of his targets at the time. For those who don't fully understand, Cody was a capper. A capper will not have any kind of relationship with the girl that they know won't deliver. Regardless what his intentions were, Cody saw Amanda as a target. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to understand that logic. Unless, for some reason, Amanda just happened to be the only girl that he treated properly without any extra intentions. It could just be a coincidence that he openly blackmailed every other girl before and after Amanda. I'm sure the intelligent Canadian law enforcement will believe that excuse. There really is no big mystery here. Cody had already been identified as Amanda's blackmailer, even before it was a hot topic. Cody's defense is that he was only trying to help her, although his actions during that exact same month would say otherwise. Even if you still wanted to believe his claims, you can be sure this all happened within his circle. At this time, he was involved with a small group of other hackers and blackmailers, most of whom are infamous for using the exact same tactics used against Amanda, such as the Facebook stalking, personal threats, and police involvement. We'll go more into detail about that in a later video. But for now, there's the basic background information on this story. We will continue to provide further details on this case as time goes on, and to correct any lies that Cody may try to use in the future. We hope there can be some justice served by the end of all of this. However, we're not expecting it. This has been the Daily Capper. Until next time, happy hunting.
In a strange effort to clear its record, the Daily Capper aired their final show ever in which they pretended to be the good guys while accusing the police of failing to stop Amanda's harassment. However, in this case, the Daily Capper was aware of Amanda's suffering and did nothing until after she had passed away. The originator of the Daily Capper and their companions disappeared into their shadowy recesses with the release of this final episode, effectively putting a stop to the capping community. But what I find so infuriating is that, despite the national exposure this program gained, its creator has yet to be discovered, despite them, in my opinion, having a very clear role in Amanda's murder by platforming and glorifying this group for all the horrific things they were doing.